Okay, let's just dive into this box now. Now, Rajiv, there are streamers and there are streamers. Right. But this one, the Western Digital Hub, has got things which its earlier after that didn't. It's got a hard drive and a 1 terabyte hard drive.
I'm really
all
surprised.
The movies that you could want, you could load.
You know, they've only made this about 30% bigger. They've thrown in a 1 terabyte hard drive, which I think is fantastic. They've priced it very well. Maybe for a 20-30% premium into just buying a raw hard drive, you get all the rest of the technology. But I still believe what is me, and yes, you said right, services that stream in now rather than it just being a dumb box. But I still believe that the best part about this is the fact that you throw any format and it plays it. And I think that's what, it's so frustrating. Imagine you have a whole collection of movies, re-encoding them to play it to a particular device that says, I will only play this format. That's extremely frustrating.
So before we go any further, and you're wondering what on earth are we talking about if you've never seen a Western Digital player or, for that matter, a Western Digital Hub, let's just show you, let's just take you through this device and put it through its paces and show you what it can actually do.
It's small, built like a tank, has 1 terabyte of storage space and is supremely easy to set up and use. This is the next generation streamer and multimedia player from Western Digital and is known as the Hub. Let's take a look at all that it can do. The purpose of this is to take all your digital content lying around anywhere on a USB drive on your laptop, on your computer, on your network drive and play it on a TV. Thus your music, your photos, your videos from all over all come to life on this little black device. Setup is easy. For best performance, use it with an HDMI cable on a 1080p HD TV. Just plug in the HDMI and the auto sensing will make sure it gives you the best picture. It also has digital out for audio and can be great for a home theater too. You can plug in a Wi-Fi dongle into it, a USB wireless keyboard, and all of it works with no setup required. Control is best though, with a very intelligently worked out remote. Almost anything we threw at it worked flawlessly. 1080p MKV movies, 720p MP4 videos were sharp and crystal clear. Songs were sorted by categories and photos came up perfectly fitted and spaced on the TV screen. There are also additional services that needed a broadband connection. You can set weather as an app, check out YouTube videos, have a live Facebook account running on your TV. There were other services like Pandora, MediaFly and live internet radio, but none of them worked in India. We found out why from Western Digital.
We added some new services though on the Live Hub, as you said. It's a big step forward to us. You can now access your Facebook, you have YouTube, you have Live 365, you have a MediaFly podcast where you have all the news from very important news channels. So we can provide to the Indian customers quite a good view of services now. But of course we are always looking to produce local content as we see fit, but at the moment there is no clear market leader in India yet emerging, but this might change over time. We are in talks with the BBC iPlayer. This might be of some interest to India because there's an awful lot of UK people, expats are living here, so we hope to integrate that service quite soon into our new Live Hub.
All in all, this is a great media streamer and is priced well at about Rs 9,000 with 1 terabyte storage. This has it almost perfect. The only things we'd like, faster wireless as it still stutters on HD streaming of videos, customized content for India and far more apps.
Okay, Rajiv, why don't you just try it out here with all these TVs? Why don't you just put on a video and show us something?
So, you know, the cool part,
your favorite, bring up your favorite. What's it? Shrek, right?
Shrek,
that's your favorite
and I'm going to do it in 1080p, and that also.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, right? You've got a little remote.
It's a simple remote.
So all the movies that you have, you've got them on this.
It basically divides everything into videos, music, photographs, and then services, which also we'll talk about, right? And you go into videos, everything that you have on this, or wirelessly on anything else on the same Wi-Fi network, a laptop, a network drive, or a USB drive which you can just plug into this, everything
So
works.
if you have a bunch of movies on a hard drive, you can just plug it into the back of it, it'll search it, bring up a folder like this.
Yeah, and then it basically, I mean, see, for right now, internal storage is what it says. You can basically do it wherever you like. So let's just
resume from wherever you watch it.
Wherever you go.
So Rajiv, I guess the first question people are going to ask is, how does the picture quality from a streamer compare with, something like that?
You know, if you're going to throw in
actual high definition playing out, but
somehow this is looking
I
better.
think the source on this is better than the source on that.
And that really is what all this is all about now, the source that you play. Now you're going to play a normal DVD on this, it'll look something like that. You're playing 1080p, you can see the texture, the sweat bands on these people, you can see the feathers.
This is as good as Blu-ray is. You can't tell the difference.
Absolutely. I mean, for most of us, you just
cannot see the difference. And at this range, if you can't see the difference.
Yeah, then imagine the actual viewing distance that you should be doing this at. I think it's brilliant. I think the good part is it works with almost any USB dongle wireless keyboard, so you can actually have, the other frustration, if you're browsing or otherwise, you can actually have this. So it's working with this, it's working with a remote control, it takes in a USB hard drive, it has a hard drive built in.
Okay, let's just
thought it all out.
Now let's just look at the possible downsides. First of all, someone's going to have to go through a lot of effort to rip all their DVDs and all the video that they want to into a box like that.
It's not for those people. It's for people who download it when somebody else has done the hard work already. If you've got, I mean, look, there are legal BitTorrents also. So, if you've got legal BitTorrents and some of the other ones also, this is your best bet.
So the comparison, let's say, with some of the other players out there, take an Apple TV. Now, obviously, this has a lot more than Apple TV does out of the box.
I think formats would be the most important thing. It
plays any format. It's got a hard drive, which actually Apple TV used to have. It doesn't have it anymore.
It doesn't have it anymore.
The difference would be what? That they don't necessarily have the contracts with people, which, let's say, an Apple TV
so now, like we said, streamers are going into two different streams, two categories. One, boxes which you bring home. They'll not play the content that you have on your hard drives, on your computers. It's not built for that. They'll stream in a Netflix or an Amazon movies or something like that.
And those, it's fair to say, at the present moment aren't terribly useful in India.
There's not.
Because you can't actually get Netflix, you can't get Pandora. I mean, I think Pandora, for example, is one of the most sensational things I've ever heard. But you can't hear it in India unless you're, hiding your IP or something like that. So
yeah, you have to shield your IP, and that's what most people are doing. And they should wake up to the fact that there's a whole audience for them in the world that are so desperate to get it that they make so many efforts to do it. So they should. But what you can do, and this is where the Facebooking, which is an interesting thing. So one more thing they've done is that, like almost everything else that is becoming smart, this is a smart streamer. New applications keep coming on this on a weekly or a monthly basis.
So if you've got a bunch of content, so we've already spoken about 2 or 3 things you can do with this. Number one, you can load movies or content into its internal hard drive.
In many different ways.
Right. Number two, you can plug in an external hard drive directly into the box and it will play movies on it.
Right.
Number three, it can stream all this stuff for you. Number four, if you have content, YouTube for example, that's if you've got the internet up and running. Number four, if you have an internal home network, it can play stuff which you might have on a computer elsewhere in your
Anywhere.
house.
I mean, it will find anything and everything on that Wi-Fi network, and it can stream it from
Let's just compare if we can. So we are talking about this particular box, of course, which is the Western Digital Hub. Let's just take a look at some of the other streamers out there and perhaps a quick comparison of this with the others.
Streamers now come in 2 distinct categories, those that are better at playing locally stored media and those that play streaming service content off the net. Here's a quick comparison. Priced at $99, plays only 720p, has no internal storage, has built-in 802.11n Wi-Fi, streams mainly from services on the net and plays only Apple DRM protected local content. Priced at $99, plays at 1080p, has 802.11n Wi-Fi, no internal storage, streams from multiple services, plays no local storage. More on the lines of the Western Digital 1080p, about $149, plays lots of local storage, has Wi-Fi, not built for streaming too many services. Priced at around $200, 1080p, Wi-Fi built-in, can stream more than 400 services and play local storage too.
You right now would would think that this has probably got an edge over the others, including the more much talked about Apple TV or Roku.
Yeah,
in
because
India, this works more because you can actually get more content onto it.
Yes, so you already have content, you can download the content. This is really where we are right now with most of the really good services not there in India. I still rate this as the best. And I think
price 8,700?
Yeah, about 8,700, 9,000, including the hard drive. I mean, I just don't understand.
How difficult is it to set up though?
Oh, I think it's very easy. I mean, if you don't do anything like even putting in a network, it's as good as putting in your passwords.
I've really heard you sounding so convinced about a gadget. Alright, time for a very quick break here on Gadget Guru. Lot more still to come. Do stay tuned.